All right, a very big welcome to you, my awesome viewers and listeners worldwide. I'm glad to host you once again on The Truth with Ben Jokes, your trusted channel for undiluted political discourse. When we wanted Jonathan out of office, I bought 150 laptops and tables and gave them to 150 youths to be insulting anybody that insults Buhari. Now, that's another revelation there from Rotimi Amechi. Today, they will tell you obedience are toxic. Oh, obedience insult people online. But it was APC youths that began online insults. I remember how Jonathan and his wife were constantly mocked and verbally molested on social media. Now, Amechi and APC were gathering youths in rooms to insult Jonathan and defend Buhari. But a set of Nigerians was emerging online, people who look at the matters objectively and speak the harsh truth. It was this group that developed into the obedient movement. That was why APC chiefs like Oshomole and El Rufai said obedience were 3 to 4 people tweeting in a room. They thought Obi paid people to support him online, just as Amechi did with Buhari. And it is so shameful, the things that APC did to get Jonathan out of power. Amechi is revealing the evil one by one. We will soon get to the point where he will tell us how they connived to bring Boko Haram into this country, how they planned it. What a world. Now, let us look at the top stories. First is that update from a middle belt state, Kwara State to be precise. This one shows that there is fire on the mountain. About 3,000 people displaced within a week. And next is that massive endorsement of Peter Obi by the Middle Belt Forum, a development that has sent pain and panic into the Tinubu camp, because this Middle Belt Forum has representatives from 6 Middle Belt states. Before I show you details of these top stories and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this video. The NYSC lady, Raye, who complained about the Tinubu government online, is now being heavily victimized by the NYSC. They have denied her discharge certificate. Watch this video.
After I had gone back to beg her, unfortunately, the NYSC is still coming on public record to lie to Nigerians. And by the way, if you are saying that a corps member has violated the bylaws, for which you want to penalize that corps member, is she supposed to read on your social media handles that her service period has been extended? Because until last night, nobody had communicated with her. The NYSC has not served this lady a single letter communicating their decision to her. They have not. So it took her being denied a certificate of national service for her to now cry to Nigerians before the NYSC now deem it fit to come out to say, oh, your service period is being extended.
So for clarity, she did not know about what she was being punished for until
yesterday.
So let me read their statement. I'm sure we've read it before for context. Rita is among the 131 corps members whose certificates of national service were withheld for valid disciplinary reasons. Specifically, Rita's service year has been extended by 2 months for failing to attend the April 2025 biometrics clearance, a decision that aligns with the NYSC bylaws. What do you think is going on here?
It is politics, and it's an embarrassment. The NYSC is supposed to be non-partisan. The NYSC is not supposed to make out or present itself or hold out itself as a public relations entity of the president, that if a citizen who happens to be serving Nigeria holds an adverse opinion about the president, that it is not the responsibility of the NYSC to address the grievance that the president may have. That is what is going on. This has nothing to do with monthly clearance. And let's even use common sense. Being a corps member who have had to go through all this, will you miss your clearance? Will you even give them a reason?
So for proper context, as we speak now, was she ever cleared for April?
They refuse to clear. Because you know it is biometric. You have to go with your clearance letter and thumbprint.
So by fact, she's not been cleared for April?
Yes, because she presented herself.
Don't you think that's a premise also to extend the year? Because whether they manipulated it or it was omitted. I'm just giving the facts here.
Yes.
She's not been cleared for
No,
April.
they are saying she refused. Read the statement. They are saying she refused to present herself for clearance. That she did not show up.
Okay.
Because the moment you show up, you are supposed to be cleared.
So Bukola, sorry, what's the name of the lady you mentioned?
Veronica Bele, that is the local government inspector.
Veronica
challenge her to come on this program and deny it.
This is me, that's why I'm calling. Yes. Veronica Bele, I don't know whether she will be allowed to come, on the government policies. Veronica Bele or whoever is in charge of Lagos NYSC. This is an open
local government inspector.
Etiosa, local government. We are giving you an open invitation to come on this show and tell us your side of the story, because the lawyer to Rita has made his own presentation and it's quite compelling. So if you have a contrary position, from what we've heard, you deliberately denied her clearance and now you are punishing her for what you orchestrated. That is the allegation. So Ms. Veronica, or whoever is in charge of that local government, whoever is the authority there, please, we would like you to come on the show to also explain your part of the story, because if this is what it is, we'll leave it at this. This is a proper national embarrassment.
You saw that. Freedom of speech, which is one of the most fundamental parts of democracy, has been trampled upon totally by the APC. It all began during the Buhari regime, but it has become worse under Tinubu. The core member only described Lagos and the situation of Nigeria in that video, but she has been facing oppression ever since. She said nothing wrong. Honestly, we don't have a country. If we had a country, Nigerian core members would have flooded the streets in protest defending that lady now. She turned up for April clearance, but the woman mentioned here deliberately refused to clear her. Raye said it in her last video. She was there for that clearance, but they deliberately refused to clear her. Now they are denying her her certificate using that April clearance that they deliberately denied her. This is just like when INEC refused to release the certified true copies of election results to Peter Obi's legal team, and then the tribunal judges in their judgment said Obi's legal team failed to provide when you saw that it was INEC that refused to release. What a disaster. But to Nigerian youths, it is the copper riot today. Tomorrow it might be any of us. When Obi's brother's property was unlawfully demolished in Lagos, he warned that if we allow lawlessness to continue in this country, we don't know who is next. And few weeks later, the residential house of two-time governor of Ogun State and sitting senator of Ogun State, an APC member, his residential house and his luxury hotel has been unlawfully marked for demolition by the sitting governor of Ogun State. So the lawlessness that we allow to thrive will go round. If we don't rise to reject the APC, their impunity will consume us all. Now, let us look at the top stories. First is that disastrous one coming out of Kwara State. 3,000 residents attacked and displaced within a week. And next is that massive endorsement by a forum represented by 6 states, the Middle Belt Forum, endorsing His Excellency Peter Obi, to the shock of the Tinubu camp. Let's start by taking that update from Kwara State. Look at how the papers reported it. The federal government deployed fighter jets and police reinforcements after bandit attacks displaced over 3,000 residents in Kwara State. No fewer than 3,000 residents of 15 communities in Babanla town in Ifelodun local government area of Kwara State at the weekend reportedly fled the communities over the reported incessant attacks by people suspected to be kidnappers and bandits. Already, the federal government has deployed 5 war fighter jets, while police has deployed joint security personnel to the town so as to protect life and properties. Now, what this update is saying in essence is that bandits have attacked and displaced over 3,000 residents in Kwara State within a week. This is the handiwork of the Lakurawa terrorist group that invaded the Middle Belt, Nigeria, or began invading the Middle Belt March this year. By August, 5 months later, they have displaced thousands of people in Kwara State, and we are seeing more than 3,000 displaced just within a week. Now, Kwara State is just few hours away from Lagos State, Oyo State, Ekiti, and Osun State. As a matter of fact, I can say it's a boundary to the entire southwest states. So, Kwara is the gateway to southwest, and bandits are taking over. Benue is the gateway to southeast, and the same attackers are taking over. Apparently, the attack on these middle belt states is a preparation for southern invasion. Not that these terrorists are not already in the south, but they want to enter fully from another angle. They want to round it up. And now they are saying they have deployed fighter jets, they have done this and that. But I brought you an update here about 2 months ago where the chief of army staff gave troop 30 days to flush these guys out. But they are still there and wasking stronger. That is why we cannot believe anything that is said in this update. Anything that they said they have deployed, we cannot believe. These guys are running riot, running rampage within the middle belt Nigeria, killing scores of people daily. And perhaps that is why the Middle Belt Forum have now thrown their weight behind Peter Obi. This forum, with representatives from Niger, Kogi, Benue, Kwara, Plateau, and Nasarawa, are saying they back Obi for a one-term presidency. Look at how the papers reported it. 2027, Peter Obi has integrity. He will keep his one-term promise. Middle Belt Forum. The Middle Belt Forum has said former presidential candidate of Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, is a man of integrity and can be trusted to keep his promise to do a single term if elected president of the country in 2027. The forum maintained that as a man of honor, the Middle Belt believed the former Anambra State governor would keep his words to the letter because of his integrity. National President of the Middle Belt Forum, Dr. Bitrus Pogu, made this known while reacting to the promise by the former presidential candidate to do a single term of 4 years if elected president. He stated that the Middle Belt had no reason to doubt Peter Obi because of his record of keeping to promises, insisting that the assurance was not given to hoodwink or deceive the Middle Belt to support his aspiration. Pogu, who clarified that he was strictly speaking for the Middle Belt and not the North, said, "We believe Peter Obi is a man of honor, and we believe that if he gets the win and he promises or promised something, he will keep to it. But like I have always said, we are where we are because we are not yet a nation. That is why several factors have continued to hold us back from attaining the dreams of our founding fathers. Otherwise, how many times one would occupy an office ought to be determined by the Constitution and the electorate rather than by some interest of some sections of the country. But that issue is for the future. For now, as a people, we believe Peter Obi because we know he is a man of integrity and honor who keeps his words." You heard that. National President of the Middle Belt Forum, Dr. Bitrus Pogu, there speaking. He said the forum and the entire Middle Belt are throwing their weight behind Peter Obi because they believe that if he says he's going to spend a single term in office, then he will do exactly that. They have also described Peter Obi as a man of integrity. But Dr. Bitrus said something there. He said it is because we are not yet a nation, we are not yet a united nation, that Peter Obi is even talking about a single term. Because amongst other things, Peter Obi is talking about a single term because after 4 years, southern Nigeria would have completed 8 years. So it will be the turn of the North. So Dr. Bitrus is saying if we were a united nation, we should not have even been discussing that. He said, but because we are not a united nation, Peter Obi is saying, okay, I will go for 4 years and I'll achieve considerably. I'll put the nation on the path of development within those 4 years. And the Middle Belt trusts Peter Obi to do just that. And this revelation, this pronouncement from the Middle Belt Forum has actually sent pain and panic into the Tinubu camp, because the Tinubu and the APC have been trying their best to win over the Middle Belt. That was why Tinubu forced the APC chairman Yiwada, the man from Plateau State, on the party, because the man is from the Middle Belt and he felt that he could persuade the Middle Belt to support him if he made their son the APC chairman. But what is happening in Nigeria now is far beyond you just rewarding one or two persons and expecting to sway an entire region. Look at what is happening in Plateau State. Look at the killings there. Every day, scores of people are being killed. And you think because you made somebody from Plateau State the APC chairman, the people will suddenly forget that they are losing their children and they will start supporting you. It doesn't make sense. It is insane to think like that. Look at what is happening in Benue State. The same thing. Everywhere don't turn to IDP camp finish for Benue State. And you think that because you give money to their governor, they will just support you. In Niger State, terrorists taking over military base. Kwara State, we just read about Kwara State. 3,000 people displaced within a weekend by bandits. These are the people you think you can deceive by going to give their women 50,000 naira to start what business? POS business? The truth is that the Tinubu regime has failed woefully, and there is nobody in this country in his right senses that should be throwing support for Tinubu, let alone a middle belt region that has been heavily attacked and reduced by bandits, Boko Haram, call it whatever. And this forum has actually done well, throwing their weight behind His Excellency Peter Obi. And as I keep telling you people on this channel, all I need is a free and fair election. This endorsement you are seeing coming from the Middle Belt Forum is an organic endorsement. Obi didn't pay anybody to give him this endorsement. Unlike Tinubu's endorsement that he had to pay everybody to gather them to endorse him. This is what I am telling you. Just give me a free and fair election. Transfer results from polling unit to the IREV and Peter Obi will floor any politician in Nigeria today. Anyway, make I leave am here. Make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because na because of una. Na I dey here. So don't go away. Don't go. Sorry,